Hey everyone, welcome to The Dish. I'm your host, Anna Christina. Thank you so much for spending your Friday with me. Today we're kicking things off with Awareness with Anna. And February is Teen Dating Awareness Month. And did you know that 1 in 3 teens will experience some form of abuse in their romantic relationship? And here to dive deeper into that is the Executive Director of Safe Homes, Amy Hall. And we're also joined by Raymond Doe. He serves on the Safe Homes Teen Advisory Board. Thank you guys so much for being here.
Thank you for having us.
Who better to kind of talk about all of this and go deeper and uncover the truth that lies behind teen dating, right?
Right.
Yeah.
So let's talk about this, because unfortunately, Georgia ranks number 3 in the nation for teen violence. That is absolutely shocking and so important, I think, to uncover, because many people, I think, can convince themselves that this doesn't happen.
Exactly.
And we're number 3 in the
Exactly.
nation. So Amy, based on how many kids you've provided services for, talk about how real this is.
You know, and as a parent myself, you don't really realize how real this is until you start thinking 1 and 3.
Right.
You know, I have a daughter that's 15 years old, and I think if I put her with 2 other friends of hers, one of them may
Has experienced
experience
that.
or will, and so it just becomes very prevalent. And so it is our goal to make sure that people are aware that teen dating violence is a for real issue,
Right.
and to bring awareness about this cause.
Well, and I think about these stats because I often think, well, these are just the people that are willing to admit it. Because I think that's one of the scariest things, is to come forth and say, even if it's in a private situation or you're answering it on a form, whatever it is. I mean, I still feel like there's several people that go without saying that they have experienced this. And so it's even scarier to think 1 in 3, it could be 2 and 3.
It could be. And not many people, and that's why it's so important with the awareness and the prevention, because there's so many people that don't realize that they are even in a teen dating violence relationship.
Right.
They don't understand what those warning signs are, and so therefore they can't identify themselves either as a victim or an abuser.
Well, and that's you bring up an important subject, because there are different forms of abuse. And Raymond, I know that being on the Teen Advisory Board, you guys go through it and help people walk through what that looks like. So can you do that for us today? I know that there's 5 different forms, isn't there? Let's talk about that.
Right off the back, the very easy ones to identify: physical and emotional. You see those the most common, but there are also sexual abuse, which you can still find in teens, like early teens.
Right.
There's social, and there's mental, because it breaks down your psyche when you undergo things like that so often. And even the social breaks down into digital, like social media, which is a big thing in
So
teens
prevalent now, right?
Yeah. And there's even an economic. If you come from a higher economic background or a lower economic background, like your family, people use that as an intimidation tactic or to take advantage of others.
Right, and so often we think about just the physical, but there's so many other forms, like we said, and now with social media and people taking advantage of that, and like you said, the economics, but people don't even think like that's even a thing.
They exist.
But it is, and so what are the warning signs? What should teens be looking for, or parents when they are, or their kids are in a relationship? What should they be looking for?
A lot of controlling from the other partner. It can be from either sex. If they're constantly checking up on you, if they're trying to control your life, saying you can't be around your friends and family, very pressuring, intimidating. A lot of these, it's on a range or a spectrum. Some of these are so drastic that people do notice them, but some of them are so
subtle.
Yeah, so subtle that people don't realize that they're in a very unhealthy situation, either until it's too late or somebody else has to come in and tell them, hey, do you see what's going on?
Do you realize that this is happening? Yeah. And that leads me to the next thing, because what is the next step? What should an adult, right, if they're watching and they're familiar with the child and maybe they're acting different, what should they be looking for, and what should be their next step?
Well, and I think about, as a parent, you know your kid better than anyone.
Right.
So if you see different consequences to, teen dating violence. Maybe their anxiety level is up. Maybe they're experiencing some sort of depression like symptoms. If they're isolating themselves, those are all warning signs of what could be happening to them if they're going through a teen dating violence. And to parents, I just encourage you to talk to your children. Tell them what healthy relationships look like, because again, they need to be aware of what those look like.
Exactly. Well, and be an example, right, to what it's supposed to look like. So many people, kids can find themselves mimicking without even knowing what they're used to. And so I think that it's important that we are really aware of what not just physical abuse looks like, but all forms. And so they're not going to go anywhere. We're going to continue this conversation. I think it's so important, not just in the month of February, but that we continue to talk about this. So we'll be right back with more of Amy and Raymond. Hey everyone, welcome back to The Dish. So we are kicking things off with Awareness with Anna. We just finished talking to Miss Amy and Raymond because February is Teen Dating Awareness Month. So we've been uncovering the truth behind what that abuse could look like, and it's not just physical. Raymond, you broke that down for us. Break it down for us really quickly again.
Physical, emotional, psychological, that's, mental. There's sexual abuse, and social, which is like digital, which can be broken down to isolation and economic.
Right, and people don't sometimes realize that this is happening to them. And so we talked about the warning signs as well. We talked about what parents can be looking for if they find that their child is in this situation. What's the next step? Because I know that Safe Home provides help, but what should parents or kids that are afraid of their situation, what should they do next?
Safe Homes is definitely a resource. They can call our 24-hour crisis hotline. And then we also have counseling that teens can participate in, as well as different support groups that teens can, and them surrounding themselves with people, especially their peers that are experiencing the same thing, just helps them feel less isolated and more understood that there are others that are going through the same circumstance.
Right, and I think because one of the feelings that you can have is shame, and you're not the one that really did anything. And so I think that it's important to know that that you do provide counseling, and that's okay if you need to be counseled through this. I think it's important so that you're able to get past and move forward from the situation. One of the things I know that you guys provide different services and counseling, but stuff for teens, programs that you guys do. Can you talk to me about what maybe y'all have experienced through that?
I've been a part of the Teen Advisory Board for a few months now. I think I joined late July of last year. And we've experienced and done so much. We've done presentations in places like Payne College. Just last week, we did one at Jesse Norman. And it's a good feeling to know that you're in your community and you're helping. You're serving, and you're maybe changing somebody's life or allowing them to feel comfortable to be able to step forward and say, hey, well, I'm one of them. How can I work through this? Exactly. And so one of the things that I also want to mention is your Fake It to Make It. Now, this is a very fun fundraiser to help bring awareness to something that isn't so fun, right, to talk about. But tell me about this. It just finished.
It did.
You crowned your new champion.
Yes, we did.
Tell me about that.
So it was a lot of fun. We had 6 contestants to battle for the belt, if you will. Yeah. They really get serious about that belt.
I know.
And,
as the years go forward, right?
Yes. And we finally had our first female winner.
Very nice.
Katie Hardy, and she rocked the house. And but even though it's all fun, we do have a mission moment. And this year we did. We focused more on the children. How do they survive this? Because I don't think people realize, even if they come to our shelter or whether they're in this, domestic violence home, that their lives still have to go on. They still have to go to school. They still have to perform. They still have to do well in school, their grades. And just really, we wanted to take it and let people realize that the children who are also affected. The trauma that they go through, and even if they're not directly being, or the ones that are abused
they are still feeling it.
Right.
And so we appreciate all you do there at Safe Home. So Amy, thank you so much for being here. Raymond, to you as well. Thank you for being so brave and courageous and stepping up as a teen. I think that is absolutely incredible. And we need more kids that can do that.
Thank you.
All right. Thank you guys so much. All right, guys, don't go anywhere. When we come back, we're going to be uncovering our dish deal plus Beauty by Belk. You don't want to miss it.